is for All Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the All Sports Podcast, Olympic Daily. And I feel like I could just say the out of breath thing on every single episode because I'm just watching such fast and furious competition and loving it. We'll start in the gymnastics first of all with Simone Biles back with a bang. The 23-time World Championship winner, 4-time Olympic gold medalist, is back once again. She first burst onto the scene in 2013-14, winning 6 gold medals across the 2 seasons, and since then has just gone on to win another 17 World Championships over the preceding 10 years. She obviously had her struggles in the Tokyo Olympics, had something called the twisties, where had problems with the air or spatial awareness when doing twists in the gymnastic events in Tokyo. Despite that, still I think got a bronze and a silver in Tokyo. Got a lot of criticism, took some time out for her mental health, and came back in 2023 last August like she'd never been away, and you can see why she is the world's greatest ever Olympic gymnast. Absolutely phenomenal, and what she did was out of this world. I watched her on the beam and it was just flawless. The technicality, the difficulty rating of the routine was the highest of anyone, and she just stuck everything. Absolutely incredible to watch. So great to see a role model like that back on the floor again. Someone else that burst onto scenes at a young age, Adam Peaty, and he is possibly now in his final Olympics too, and obviously competing in the breaststroke. He was just pipped to the touch by Nicola Martineggi, and it was just an amazing race. I think 4 of them were within a couple of hundredths of a second of the touch, so it could have gone. Anyone could have won gold and anyone could have come fourth. But a brilliant display by Petey, who has now emerged, actually tested positive for COVID, and was suffering under the symptoms as well. So did incredibly well and didn't list any excuses. Took a silver, and what he said afterwards was very emotionally intelligent and wise, given that he must have been absolutely exhausted following the race, but also what we now know as having COVID too. That he spoke about the process and what it is and what you give leading up to this, and if you give everything then you go on to the start line having already won. And it was, the BBC do an incredible job when they highlight some of these stories, and it's very emotional. But another highlight from the pool, home favourite Leon Marchand in the 400 metre individual medley, and it looked like he went off so hot and he just kept it going. You thought this is just purely adrenaline and it's going to go and he's going to die off, the lactic acid's going to kick in, and he just kept going. New Olympic record in a slow pool as well. It's what was touted to be a slow pool, and there's not been as many Olympic and world records as we usually see in the pool, specifically in Olympics, but this is supposed to be a slow pool. So a new Olympic record for Leon Marchand in front of the home crowd. There's been a few incredible wins for the French in these home Olympics, and the French public have really got behind it, considering what happened in the build up to the opening ceremony, and the opening ceremony itself, to be honest, the controversy around that, but the build up to the opening ceremony with the railways attacked, or having some sort of attack. And then another home favourite, Koretsky, in the cross-country mountain biking, was up against it, going against Tom Pidcock, but arguably with a better sprint. If Koretsky could just stay in the fight, then he would do okay, but Pidcock pulled away and then he got a puncture, so Pidcock had to pull into the pit and get his wheel changed over. He was in the pit for 40 seconds, probably lost a hell of a lot more than that, probably a minute 10 in total from when the puncture happened to recovering onto the road. But he fought back in a sublime overtake, taking the inside tighter line versus Koretsky going round the other side of a tree. They came out wheel to wheel. Koretsky lost his pedals, and then that was it. Pidcock rode away, but Just that they just kind of had the downhill to go, and Pidcock won. But a phenomenal ride from Tom Pidcock, who again, someone that had COVID just a matter of weeks ago, actually had to pull out of the tour. Maybe that's benefited him, but there he is with another gold medal. Highlight from the tennis. Andy Murray, in what was potentially his final ever game, looked like he was going to limp out of this one with Dan Evans. They looked equally bad, but they just showed some gritty determination, brought the game back to 1-set-all, and then it goes into a final set tiebreak, which is first to 10. We're 9-4 down, saved 5 match points by winning them all, and won, well, what was in the end 7 consecutive points to win the match. I'm not sure how they're going to do further into the tournament, but great that it wasn't just an Olympic loss on his only match in the Olympics that sends Murray out in the final game of his career. So really nice, really emotional. Feel like he's really dragging out this retirement, but great to see Andy Murray get a win. And yeah, they did celebrate like they'd won gold. But it was just fascinating watch and really enjoyable against Kai Nishikori and Daniel from Japan. Into the canoe slalom, and no one wanted to win it until they did, with another local favourite from France, from Brittany, Nicolas Gaston, absolutely annihilating the field with the last run of the day, with Brit Adam Burgess coming in second. That was a fascinating watch. They're back into the pool. Not our home favourite, but a local favourite from the UK, with Matt Richards going in the 200 metre freestyle, and he looked like he was probably going to get it, but a really slow finish. He got out-touched by the new absolute all-star David Popovici, the Romanian, pipping him to the touch on the wall. Just 200ths of a second, I think it was. So Matt Richards will be kicking himself. It wasn't like Adam Peaty's where anyone could win, although he probably was the favourite. But Matt Richards, he had the gold. And just that slow glide into the finish is what did it for him. It feels like it was a bit of a day or a couple of days of silvers for the Brits, because Tom Daley got his silver, and as he put it, completed the Olympics with his gold, silver and bronze. So he got his silver in his 5th and final Olympics with teammate Noah Williams. They were never going to get anywhere close to the near perfect Chinese pair. They were flawless. Even when, and it maybe especially when, the level of difficulty raised up on their dives, their entry into the water just got better and better. No one was getting close. In other news, Novak Djokovic beat Rafael Nadal in the tennis. Moving on to more positive news. Definitely not going to dwell on that. And this is another Spaniard, obviously, that has a very good chance with Alcaraz of beating Djokovic. So all our hope is in Carlos Alcaraz. But coming up on day 4, so we will have the triathlon. Or will it be the duathlon? For the first time ever in Olympic history, it could have been duathlon. So all of these competitors train their lives for the swim, bike and run, and it's just going to be run, bike, duathlon. It feels incredibly short-sighted that they didn't have a pool set up when all of the pollution, and with all of the pollution testing that had been going on in the River Seine for the last year, that they didn't have a contingency of a pool to start the triathlon is crazy. So if the conditions aren't suitable, they're going to change it to a duathlon for the first time ever. So triathlon or duathlon on day 4. Also, day 4, a couple of big highlights. Got the women's team final in the artistic gymnastics. We already spoke about Simone Biles, so it'll be good to watch her again. Women's rugby knockouts and finals will also be taking place all in day 4. And we spoke about the Aussies, Elijah Winnington and Sam Short, in the 800 metre freestyle final on day 4. They will be up against Daniel Whiffen from Ireland, the current world champion for the 800 metre freestyle and probably the favourite. He did actually beat both of the Australians in the semi-final, so he's definitely going to be the favourite. But that will also be on, and hoping that that is going to be tighter than the semi-finals were. So that's it from us today. If you enjoy listening along, like, subscribe, rate us 5-star on Spotify, and you can get in touch at allsportspods@gmail.com, and we'll catch you on the next one.